What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. Hope you guys are doing well. The maps here in Black Ops 6 have been a highly debated topic ever since launch. It's been something that has divided this community, as some people absolutely love them, while others like myself completely and utterly despise them. But why is that? I want to take the time today to dive a little bit deeper into why the maps in Black Ops 6 feel in play as terrible as they do. Now, one of the theories I'm going to float around there today has been discussed by the likes of Blame Truth, but I think there's a lot of merit to it. I'm also going to bring up my own theory on this as well. So I'm very curious, before I dive into it, what your thoughts are on the Black Ops 6 maps. If you're somebody who doesn't like them, why is that? What is it about these maps that you despise so much? And why do you think they are such a departure from the traditional Treyarch maps? And if you're somebody who loves them, tell me why. What is it about these maps that you truly enjoy? Leave those comments down below in the comment section. So first, I want to start with what Blame Truth was saying regarding the maps here in Black Ops 6, which I 100% agree with. These maps were designed for Warzone. It's that simple. I mean, Protocol is already in the brand new Warzone map that is going to be dropping with Black Ops 6 at some point. Then you have maps like Lowtown and Red Card that just feel so misplaced here in Black Ops 6's multiplayer. The maps don't flow properly. They don't adhere to the classic 3-lane map system. Sure, there's 3 lanes if you have to think really hard about it, but they're not simple in their map design. They're quite complex. And it just doesn't work. It doesn't translate well to a good multiplayer experience. But these maps would work quite well in Warzone. They seem like points of interest that you would find on a Warzone map. And while we speak of that, the map Payback, the really teeny tiny map that some of you really like, that has no functionality in actual multiplayer, seems to be ripped straight out of an abandoned house in a Warzone map that you'd loot at the start of a game or midway through as the zone is closing. Not a map that is functional in multiplayer. And you can do this with the majority of maps here in Black Ops 6. They either feel like points of interest or they feel like they are ripped straight out of a Warzone map and put here into Black Ops 6. And it just doesn't work. It doesn't translate well. And I already know some people are going to argue with me and say, well, Ferocity, they already transport great maps like Firing Range and Raid into Warzone, and they work in Warzone. So are they just Warzone maps then? No, because maps like Firing Range and Raid work well independently from Warzone. They have the 3-lane classic map design that Treyarch liked to adhere to prior to this mess of a game. And as a result, the maps played well. So they work well in Warzone because they also worked well in multiplayer. But the maps that we see here in Black Ops 6 don't necessarily work well as multiplayer maps. They work way better as points of interest in a Warzone map. But this feeling of the maps being ripped out of Warzone isn't the case for every single map in Black Ops 6. No, there's a fair number of them that feel this way, but there's others that actually feel like they were designed for multiplayer. There's a sense of flow in them, even though that sometimes the spawn points want to remind you that the maps don't need any flow. And maps that remind me more of that traditional 3-lane map design are maps like Skyline, like Vault, where both of these maps fit into that classic idea of a 3-lane map system. Now, Skyline isn't perfect by any means as a 3-lane map, but Vault is as 3-lane can be. And it works as a result. It's one of my favorite maps in the game because it functions like a traditional Treyarch map. Which begs the question, why do some of these maps feel, look, and play like traditional Treyarch maps, while others feel like such distant relatives of those maps? Well, it's because everybody over at Treyarch freaked out last year during the Modern Warfare 3 launch. Follow me on this, because I haven't seen anyone talk about this, but I honestly believe this is what happened. We know that there is supposed to be a classic Black Ops 2 sequel next year. That's what's been highly rumored for a very long time. But I also think, judging by what we've seen with Black Ops 6 and how it's trying to recreate that nostalgia, that this game was originally going to release with a ton of traditional, classic Black Ops maps. Maps from Black Ops Cold War, maps from Black Ops 1, 2, 3, and 4. But they got cold feet when they saw the reaction to Modern Warfare 3 launching with only the classic Modern Warfare 2 maps from 2009. They immediately had to pivot. And because they didn't have enough maps to launch the game and market it with enough maps and enough content, they had to lean on Infinity Ward and their Warzone development to properly port some of those maps over into multiplayer. So all of this works cohesively together to bring you the bad experience. And yes, this has no merit to it, it's just a theory of mine. But it sounds exactly like something Call of Duty would do. Because they've done it before. They've gotten cold feet with features, decided to pull back and pivot. And I think that's precisely what has happened here with Black Ops 6. That's why so many of these maps feel disconnected from one another. That's why some of them play brilliantly and others play absolutely terribly. And I know all of this comes across as extremely far-fetched, almost conspiratorial. But let's be honest here. What is Activision's most powerful asset? No, it's not game design. It's marketing. The thing that Activision is best at is marketing. They are so good at separating you from your money. So with that in mind, what would have been the original marketing strategy for multiplayer when it comes to Black Ops 6? Because one of the things they highlighted a ton, outside of Omni Movement and Classic Prestige, was 16 brand new maps for you to enjoy. They hammered that point home. We are going to launch with 16 brand new maps. What was the original marketing plan? 10 brand new maps and 6 classic maps for you to sink your teeth in to bring up all that nostalgia from classic Call of Duty games? I don't know if that would have went over well. And that's why I think they pivoted away from it. That's why they decided not to implement classic maps here into Black Ops 6. Even though now, with hindsight being what it is, it might have been the smarter decision. That's why we saw them panic so much when the community revolted after the beta when these maps didn't work and they didn't play well. Because they knew the maps they were coming out with weren't going to be much better. And maybe they were second guessing themselves, that maybe they should have stuck with their original idea of implementing classic maps. Because if they had decided to do that, I think that the community would have embraced it. Think of the catalog of great maps that Black Ops has spanning across all of its games. There is some amazing maps there, and you don't even necessarily need to lean on Black Ops 2 if you're planning to create that classic experience next year. You could have brought maps in from Black Ops 1, Black Ops 3, you could have brought Black Ops 4 maps back, heck, even brought in a couple Black Ops Cold War maps and satisfied this community. There are so many maps this community would have been happy with. And if it is true, which I don't think we'll ever find out if it's true or not, they really should have stuck to their guns and brought us some of those classic maps again. Because honestly, it was a bright spot of Black Ops 4. I know that that game gets a lot of flack, and it should get a lot of flack. It did feel a little lazy that they only had 12 launch maps and 6 of them were classic maps. But I think that it also helped its experience along. I think it enhanced the experience. Instead, these maps completely deteriorate the experience and detract from it because they don't play well. Because they belong in Warzone and not in multiplayer. So those are the reasons why I think the maps here in Black Ops 6 suck. And they are so disjointed and so disconnected. It's because they weren't originally supposed to be in this game. But that is my theory for today. That is all I wanted to say on this topic. I know I got a little long-winded. I hope that you found a way to make your own assumptions, your own conclusions from this video. So I'd love to hear them down below in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the maps here in Black Ops 6. And as always, guys, I thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.